Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. Grayman POTA here, Tim, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. And I'm out here at the Morgan Monroe State Forest, and we're going to do a Parks on the Air activation today. But like anything, these are geared to be learning sessions. So if you have questions, make sure you get those in the chat, and either myself or maybe hopefully somebody in the and all right, we're back right off the bat. Problems, but hey, you know what? That's what we do here. We're amateur radio operators, and we are going to have problems, and that's what we did. I just lost my internet connection, but I am back. Hopefully, I'm back. Let me know in the chat. Put a 1 or something in there if you can hear me. Okay. So what I'm doing here, Parks on the Air. It's a international program now where you come out to designated state and federal, or if you're outside of the United States, maybe provincial and federal crown parks. I think it's what they refer to them up in Canada. And we get out and we make contacts, and it's a twofold kind of process. Part of it is it's just getting out and having fun, and that's a newer part of the amateur radio thing now that equipment is miniaturized, it's portable, it's so much easier now. You can go out with a radio that's the same footprint as a deck of cards and make contacts all over the world with very low power. So that's part of it, getting out and just having fun. The other part of it is in amateur radio, and the service of amateur radio is being able to provide communications in the event that there are natural disasters, and they do happen here in the central United States. Seems like every other night we've got some kind of violent storms. Whether they manifest into tornadoes or not is kind of a different thing, but that's just this time of year, right? So you can honestly do not know. You can go to bed, and this happened to me just a couple of years ago. I got woken up to the alarms and the emergency thing going off in my thing, and I'm wrapping up my kids and my wife and getting into our safe spot as a tornado passed in the field just 1,000 feet from my house. And we were very fortunate that it just started to form. They rated it as a FE0, FE1, so that was just the very beginning of the tornado. The neighborhood that was in the path, most of those homes were the roofs were ripped off and sustained a lot of damage to where those homes were not necessarily occupiable for an extended period of time as it took. But then that tornado kind of hooked in and went up into town and then caused some major damage. So you never know. And that's the other half of amateur radio, is just getting out there and being that communications service to help in the event of a natural disaster. So most places have their own communications plans, and we've always worked as a service, always worked hand in hand with local emergency management, not to provide communications for them. They've got their own, and there are maybe some odd, rare circumstances where that might be the case, that you would help out. But generally, it's the morale, welfare, and rec. It's the things on the backside that we can step in and lighten that load from, the emergency management communications, and we can help out with, is my family okay? Because you could have damage to infrastructure, so power's out. Cell phones may or may not work. Landlines may or may not work, depending on the area you're in, and are your utilities above ground or below ground. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into that. So this Parks on the Air is a fun activity to get out and do those things, and you get to get on the air and do that stuff. So just looking at the chat here, looks like we've got a few people in this morning. Um, so awesome. Roger's in here, Cooley's in here, Hollywood's in here. This is a new one. Good morning. So now we are also live streaming, in addition to here on YouTube. We're also live streaming on Twitch and X and Facebook right now. So I'm not sure how the comments work with those if you're watching from one of the other platforms. So I would recommend, if you wanted to go ahead and switch over to the YouTube stream, and if you want to jump into the chat. And so today, and bring your questions. Just once again, I'm going to kind of run through the steps. Some of you guys are here on a regular basis, and you do POTA. You've probably seen these, but let's go ahead and actually, while I'm here, I got the full screen up. Let's go ahead and zip through the views here today. So I am out here at the Morgan Monroe State Forest, and it's a US 4215, and I'm up here at, I believe this is Cherry Lake. I think that's what it is. It's not huge. It's a dammed up ravine, but it's a good fishing thing. And then over here we've got the antenna cam. So I'll be using a Yaesu 891 mounted here in the truck, and then I've got the ATOS, which is a screwdriver antenna, but it's a mobile mounted vertical antenna that will go up and down to change the inductance, which will then tune it to work on certain bands. So that's where we're at. So let's go ahead and just let's start adding in some things here. And see if we do this right and get going. I swear, one of these days I need a producer that can sit here in the front seat and do this with me. All right. So this is Polo portable logger. There's a couple of them out there now. Hammers. Jarrett is back with Hammers, which is getting a lot of traction and good reviews. And then also the World Radio League is got there. So Ham 2K Polo, Hammers, and Radio World League. So I've been using Polo, and I like it. Right now I'm running this on a actually a MacBook, and it is not PC capable yet, but that's not anything. They're as they're developing, they're starting small and growing outward. It was designed to be a handheld portable logger. So phones were the first go around, then they adding tablets and stuff. Because I'm using a MacBook Pro that has the Apple silicone chip in it, it will emulate or run iPad apps. So that's what's allowing me to use it on here. So if you do have one of those, you can run this on a MacBook. But quite honestly, it is scaled back and easy to use on a phone or a tablet. I use primarily a tablet when I'm out, just myself. But um, by having the radio here in the truck and the antenna, quite honestly, I can do what I call targets of opportunity, right? So if I'm driving along somewhere, and this happens at work, the interstate's backed up, and I can I sit on the interstate, or do I just veer off and go over to a state park that's a couple miles off the interstate on my way home? And that's what I do. So I check I actually just check to see what the traffic looks like, and if it's horrible, I'll go ahead and swing around the back way and go into the park that way, and just sit there and make POTA contacts and wait for the interstate to clear up, and then head home. So um, that's what I do, and I kind of like that. So all right, so to get started with portable logger, new operation, and now I've got developer options turned on. So if you do not, or if you use Polo, some things may look differently. I just updated it this morning to the latest version, which is something, because this is a application in development. You'll see regular things move out. He does have the developer options where you can get some pre-release stuff, and then after it is QA'd, it will get released to the general distribution GA that you can download just through the normal course of updating. What we're going to go is add a POTA activity. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Check that. Additive activity, which is already set for POTA. I said that and I lied. There we go. Now, if you've got, if you're using a tablet, or if you're using something that's got a GPS module in it, it will, and you've got it enabled and allow the application to access that, it will bring up your location via the GPS and provide you entities that are close by. And that also works for some of the many other uh, activities that are in there. And this is customizable also. So I've got it set up for winter field day, satellite operations. You can do a generic. He's adding more and more things in here, which is also nice. Uh, if you did SOTA, I wouldn't hump this laptop with me up on a SOTA summit if I had one around me, but if I did, I wouldn't, because it's too heavy. So you can turn on things, but if you're on your phone or your tablet, once again, and you're in an area where you can do SOTA and POTA, you can run all those operations concurrently in here and log for everything, and it will produce files for you at the end of the day that you can just export out and send up to the various organizations to get your logs in. So I've just got the one entity today, 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest, and I am pretty much ready to get on the air. So we do have some people on here that are close to me in Indiana. So I'm going to start off on 40 meters, just try to make contact with them, and then we'll switch over to 20 and go from there. So as I said, I'm using the Yaesu 891 here in the truck. And so far that frequency sounds clear. I've had the radio on. I'm not sure if somebody's using that or not, but I want to swing over to spots here just to see if anybody is on any frequency I may or may not be near. And it looks like 195 is not being used by at least anybody in POTA. That doesn't mean it isn't used, but I haven't heard anything so far. right, well, I'll just manually tune it here. Okay. Can't speak to that one. All right. Once again, always one of those things that it's you never know what's going to happen. So we'll just do that. We swap camera views here, and we'll just go to the antenna cam. So I'm just going to power cycle. Sometimes it just needs to be done. All right, so as you can see now, as I'm tuning the antenna for 40 meters, it is dropping down and reassessing. All righty, well, you know what? Today is one of those days we are going to have some fun. Stuff's not working as expected, but all right. So there we go. Good morning, Sean. And good morning, Rick. And we'll just do it by hand. Huh. All right. Well, you know, it is what it is today. Just zip through the setup here, just make sure that everything's working. That's right, Dan. I know it does do that. Sometimes I just get a little impatient. And yeah, you know what? It's funny, Hollywood. I'm next to the south tree. I don't know. Might be the South 3. Well, I mean, the ATOS label was up, so I'm sure. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and actually pull the power. Let the radio reset. Let's do that for a second. Sometimes sometimes they can be temperamental, I guess. I don't know. So nothing more exciting than sitting here watching me while I'm troubleshooting something. I don't know. Maybe there's something to be said for dealing with problems on the fly and doing that. So, all right, plugged it back in. Do not know why it's bonking. So the only thing I did yesterday was and it was working, was I adjusted the filter width, but that shouldn't have anything to do with it. And just make sure that everything is, as you see, don't worry about speed. And the antenna is going up and down. Oh, wait a minute. All right. All right. This is frequency in use. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. This is frequency in use. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. CQ Parks on the air. CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air. CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Whiskey Delta 4, Delta Alpha November.
Whiskey Delta 4, Delta Alpha November. Dan, good morning. A little quieter than normal, about a 5-1, 51.
Yeah, appreciate it. 5 and 5, 65 on the ATAS, buddy. Sounding good, 7-3.
All right, got the 5-5. Actually, you bumped up a little bit there. I'm sure the bands are kind of warbling today, but appreciate the contact, my friend, and 73.
See you.
Zip. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, yours, Ed. CQ Parks on the air. CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Whiskey 1, Whiskey Charlie Mobile.
Whiskey 1, Whiskey Charlie Mobile. Brian, good morning. You are 5-5-55 in the park today.
Roger, Roger. You're also 5 and 5, Tim. Good luck today, 73.
All right, 73, my friend. When are you going to be activating your first park today? Brian's Whiskey 1, Whiskey Charlie. Brian is going to be doing I think 10 or 11 parks today. He's on a quest to get all of the parks in the state of Alabama activated. So before his first year of doing POTA activation. So he's out. I think he said he was hitting 11 parks today. So if you see him on the spotting page or whatever, make sure to try to hit him up, help him out there. CQ Parks on the air. CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
A Kilo Echo, number 4, Quebec Charlie Yankee.
Kilo Echo 4, Quebec Charlie Yankee. Robert, good morning. You are 5-9 plus in the park today.
Well, thank you very much. Good morning to you as well. 5-9 Alpha Lima. Best of luck today.
All right. Thanks to 5-9, my friend. By the way, I don't know if you know, I'm live streaming right now on YouTube. If you go check out my channel, you can hear yourself at about the 27-minute mark there.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day in 73, my friend. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, QRZ. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air. CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air. CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air. CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Kilo Golf 4, Kilo Tango Bravo.
Kilo Golf 4 station.
Kilo Golf 4, Kilo Tango Bravo.
Kilo Golf 4, Kilo Tango Bravo. Perry, good morning. 5-9 in the park.
Hey, QSL, you're 5-3-53, Georgia, Golf Alpha.
All right, thanks to 5-3 into Georgia, my friend. You have a great day today in 73. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, QRZ. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air. CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. All right, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot going QSY to 20 meters. All right, let's give this a try here, see if it'll tune now automatically. All right, well, that looks promising here. Let me see if I can get the antenna cam out there and panned in before the antenna hits its location. All right.
Appreciate the contact. 73.
Kilowatt Alpha 6 Bravo India Mike, portable 7.
The portable 7.
Kilowatt Alpha 6 Bravo India Mike, portable 7.
So there's several QSO parties going on right now. So the band's 20 meters is probably a little bit more busier than normal, but this is a good band to get contacts on pretty much most of the day. A lot of people on here, so I just get that in there, then bounce over the spotting page, get that updated, and let's see what we got here. Now I don't know if you noticed, I filtered based on the automatic filter. So I'm currently set for 20 meters, so it's just showing me 20 meter contacts. I'm also currently set for phone based on the portion of the band that I typed in. The mode is SSB or phone versus CW or one of the digital modes. I'm sorting by frequency, but also I can filter content based on location, so continent essentially. So I can sometimes get Africa depending on the time of day. Asia's pretty much out for me where I'm at. Europe, most definitely. I'd probably hear more contacts from Europe than I would Africa. South Africa is got a large amateur population, but the rest of the continent is not so much. Obviously North America, Oceania, so that's going to be down New Zealand, Australia. That's not something I normally get, so I won't look for spots. South America is one that is very common. Now Mexico, I will see parks routinely in here, down to the Caribbean. Some of the northern South America, Costa Rica, places like that, I'll see in here. So I do filter that way. And as you can see, there's quite a bit more active stations out doing POTA on 20 meters. And oh, never mind. That's over in Europe. I was gonna say, it looks like somebody got a little courageous with the 14.300. You don't want to stir up the cranky old hens at on the Maritime Mobile Net. They get a little pissy because they've been there for 50 some years on that frequency or whatever horse crap they tell you. A lot of times what I like to do is I like to try to find a frequency that's close to a cluster of people. That way, as people are just kind of spinning the dial through hunting, they might stumble across you. And looks like the high 330s are probably open, so we'll just spin up that way and is this frequency in use? November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. Is this frequency in use? November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. Good morning, Nate. And looks like Four Wheeler Redneck might be changed his frequency there. He's on 14.267. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Kilo Quebec 4, Golf Romeo Alpha.
Kilo Quebec 4, Golf Romeo Alpha. Christopher, good morning. 5-9 in the park.
Good morning, sir. You're 5. Got you about almost 5-5 into Central Florida.
All right, thanks to 5-5 into Florida, my friend. I'm not sure if you're familiar. I do have a YouTube channel. If you search YouTube and look for my call, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot or Gray Man POTA. I am live streaming right now, and you're live at about the 36-minute mark if you want to hear yourself over the air from my perspective. All right, well, thank you for the contact. Have a great day in 73, my friend. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, yours, Ed.
Alpha Delta 2, Charlie Delta.
Alpha Delta 2, Charlie Delta. Toby, good morning, 5-9.
5-5, 5-5, New Jersey. Thank you, 7-3.
All right, 73, Toby. Have a great day today. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, yours, Ed. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Kilo India 5, November India Golf.
Kilo India 5, November India Golf. Roger, good morning, 5-9.
Good morning, sir. You are 5-5 here in Texas. 5-5 Tango X-ray.
All right, thanks to 5-5 into Texas, my friend. Have a great day today in 73.
73.
November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, yours, Ed.
Alpha Delta 5, Delta Charlie.
Alpha Delta 5, Alpha Charlie. Good morning, 5-5.
Alpha Delta 5, Delta Charlie. QSL.
All right, sorry about it. Made the correction. Alpha Delta 5, Delta Charlie. Dennis, 5-5.
QSL, you're 5-3 Tango X-ray.
All right, thanks to 5-3 into Texas, my friend. Have a great day today in 73. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, yours, Ed.
Kilo Bravo 1, Quebec Delta Charlie.
Kilo Bravo 1, Quebec Delta Charlie. Kevin, good morning, 5-9.
Roger, you're 5-8 here in Connecticut. Charlie Tango, over.
All right, thanks to 5-8 into Connecticut, my friend. Have a great day today in 73. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, yours, Ed. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Whiskey 1, uniform Sahara Bravo, Vermont, over.
The Whiskey 1 Sierra station? Was there a Whiskey 1 station in Vermont?
Whiskey 1, uniform Sahara Bravo, Whiskey 1, upper sideband. 5-5, Victor Tango, over.
All right, John, good morning. Whiskey 1, uniform Sierra Bravo. Copy the 5-5. You're also 5-5 in the park today.
Roger. Thank you for being out there. Have a good day, sir. 7-3.
All right, 73, my friend. Have a great day today. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, yours, Ed. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. So one of the things that is I'm having a little bit of issue with is the map and being able to pin in and out or zoom in and out here on the Mac. It works fine on the tablet and the phone, just on the Mac. Being able to squeeze in and out. So normally I like to be able to display that here on the screen so you guys can kind of see just what it looks like distance-wise. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Kilo Charlie 3 kilowatt X-ray radio.
Kilo Charlie 3 kilowatt X-ray radio. John, good morning, 5-9.
Good morning, Tim. You're also 5-9 into New Jersey this morning.
All right. Thank you for the 5-9 into New Jersey, my friend. You have a great day today in 73. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Delta 4, Delta Alpha November.
Whiskey Delta 4, Delta Alpha November. Dan, fried rice.
Appreciate it. Fried rice, see you.
All right, see ya. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, KRZ.
Kilo 7, Yankee Golf.
Kilo 7, Yankee Golf. Mike, good morning, 5-9.
Yep, 5-9 in Arizona. Good signal and good luck.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You have a great day today in 73, my friend.
73.
November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, KRZ. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. Try to filter out that. November US 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Sierra, Papa India.
Station ending in Papa, India. Is there a station ending in Papa, India?
Hey, Roger, I'm sorry, I got some QRM coming in on me, yeah. Kilo Oscar 4, Sierra, Papa India. I got a 5.8 on you without the noise, but we got you in there, man, 7-3.
All right, copy the Kilo Oscar 4, Oscar Papa, India. Dennis, good morning. You're about a 5'5", 55 here in the park.
Yeah, Roger, I don't know if you got that right. That was Kilo Oscar 4, Sierra, Papa India, QSL.
All right, Train, sorry about that. Made the correction, my friend. Sierra, Papa, India, you're 5'5".
Roger, 7-3.
All right, 73, my friend. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot, yours, Ed. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ POTA, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by. All right, well, let's go do a little hunting because I'm not sure where that other station is, but it's causing me some headaches. So let's just zip down the list here. And this is also a nice feature of Polo is the spots, and you can highlight any spot, and it'll drop it right in the log here for you, and also show their park information. And so, like in my case, I just went ahead and hit my park, and it just comes up 4215. It's already in there for you, pre-populated and ready to go. And it is smart enough if by chance you log a park or log a contact that's already in a park that's spotted, it will pull that information in, the park information. So even if I let's just say KK7LXT, so that's the station on 14330. So I just typed in their call sign, and it automatically, as part of the lookup process, goes and gets their name, but also sees that they're spotted in a park, and it automatically pre-populates that information in the log, which is a nice feature. So in the way the park to parks work, I know sometimes people get all hung up on the park numbers. Just log your contacts. If they're in a park and they log their contacts because they're activating, the system will figure it out and make those park to parks for you. So that's just kind of how it is. So hey, Kevin, good morning, and awesome. Glad you could be part of it. I hope that people are getting some benefit of doing this, just to kind of see how it's done. But the other side of this is, and I know this from personal experience, I had mic fright, and just being able to get out there and get on the air and be comfortable with doing it. And as you guys have seen this morning, not everything has gone perfectly. I've had some issues with the radio. I've had a couple dropouts on my live stream here of connectivity where I've had to swing back into it. And, I've had some other issues. So it just happens. And I hope that people see that and say, you know what, it's okay. The other side of this is, and this does happen, and I hear this a lot from people, as a content creator, I have the benefit of editing software or editing video. And so, I cut out sometimes, and myself and all the other creators will cut out things that drag on or do it. That's why I like doing live streams, because you see it as it is. And I don't have an opportunity to clean it up and do those kind of things. So, but sometimes there's that assumption that because you don't see the backside of things, the 5 retakes or the things, because we want to present quick, easy, digestible content that keeps people's attention. And that's the downside of social media, that too long didn't read, the TDLR concept, right? So people sometimes just think that uh, we do this and we don't have any problems. We just zip right through it, and it's all roses and everything. And the reality is that crap just happens right on the backside. And Cooley just throws out here. He says he's failed twice now to activate a park, and that's that is just one of those things. Sometimes it just comes with experience and uh, getting out there and trying it. But the reality is that you'll never activate a park if you don't get out and do it, right? So Cooley's done it twice, and I would always keep this in a frame of mind when you go out to try these activations. Is um, there are no failed activations. It There's a limit, right? It for it to be considered an activation, a good activation with the parks on the air, you have to have 10 contacts. If you're doing soda, um, Summit's on the air, it's 4 contacts, right? Um, but that's just there. Anytime you are outdoors, having fun, enjoying, you know, um, the outdoors and enjoying your hobby, that is a not a failed activation to me. That's just get out and enjoying things, right? Getting outdoors and getting away from the house and doing that. So no failed activations, right? You just get out and have fun. And sometimes the upside of that is that you learn from, and I guess I'm just gonna bring myself back into full screen here so you don't have to see my thing. Once again, I need to get a producer here. I try to get my wife and kids out of bed on Sunday morning, and I get a grunt and they roll over. So no producers. But yeah, just getting out there, and somebody did mention in the chat, and I'm a firm believer in this. There are no failures from this standpoint. They're all learning experiences, right? So if you come out and um, it may be location, it might be that in some cases just getting out and surveying the area where you want to activate. So I do a lot of traveling for work, and sometimes I don't have the opportunity to, like go and check out the lay of the land of the park, where to set up. So sometimes, um, reaching out to, there's a large community, right, of activators, and just go to the park that you want to activate and see who activates it on a regular basis and reach out to them. Most active hunters are very open to helping people out, especially if you're not from the area, and it's a simple email. If you go, most of them they've got their email address on QRZ, QRZ.com. That's kind of the phone book for amateur radio operators, and asking hey, I'm going to be in town. I'm coming in. Like in my case, I'm flying in, so I might have a rental car, and I want to activate these couple parks. Can you give me the insight? And sometimes they're like, oh yeah, go to this parking area, or yeah, you have to hike in to get to this twofer, this nature preserve inside the larger entity. Or there's reasonable accommodations if you're somebody that um, you know has walking issues or just whatever. There's things. So that the best thing to do is just to reach out to the community and go that route. Speaking of reaching out, oh hey Dan, you're absolutely right. Yeah, sometimes 2 hours of video for 10 minutes, and that does happen. I did a video. I got the ZBitX computer in, and I opened it up, and Same thing, about 2 hours. And finally, I'm just like, oh, I can't use any of this. So I got to go rethinking how I'm going to shoot that. Also, shout out to, well, before I go any further. So Cooley says, yeah, he learned from his mistakes, and you go back and you reevaluate, and you get out there and have fun. Also want to give a shout out to Dave Hillbilly Ham last weekend. And it was part of the reason why I didn't do the live stream last weekend. Myself, and I got a big list of people here. Jason, Ham Radio 2.0, Rob, Digital Rancher, Frank from Tank Radio, Bill from Ham Radio Tectonics, Kyle AA0Z, Freddie Mack from Ham Radio Crusader, Paul from Prep Ham Paul YouTube channel, and there was a few others, and hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Steve from Alpha Antennas. We all met up at the Moore Expo, which is an overlanding expo, and it was in Springfield, Missouri. Dave lives there. Hillbilly Ham lives in that area locally, and him and his local radio club were there setting up, and we were all there to spread the good word of amateur radio. It's something that's kind of growing in the overlanding community, and I mean, there's still a lot of GMRS. There's that argument between ham radio and GMRS for local communications, CB, stuff like that. And that's great from rig to rig. I personally, in that kind of environment, when you've got a large group of people, GMRS is the way to go, mainly because it's easy. You can have it licensed, but then also if you've got people that don't have radios, you can get the inexpensive bubble pack, bubble wrap, whatever, FRS radios, and everybody's on the same frequency. They're low power enough, handheld. You can go from rig to rig, and everybody's fine. But the getting out into like BLM land, when you get out into areas that are you're away from cell phone service, stuff like that, amateur radio is a good tool to have in your kit to be able to do that. And then you can most of that BLM land is some form of a park, national park, anyways, or something like that, where you can do POTA contacts, either hunt or activate. So it's all good. Yeah, one does not simply call Freddie without calling him Freddie Mac, and yeah, so yeah, Freddie's a great guy. And actually, speaking of Freddie, Freddie and Jory have been really big in the Freddie's been doing a lot of ASL3, that's the All-Star Link 3 software, videos and stuff like that. And then Jory, who is a Linux programmer, who's also been doing a lot with All-Star Link, helping Freddie out on his Discord. They're going to be on the Ham Radio Kids Table live stream this Wednesday night at 8 p.m. So if you've got questions about All-Star Link, setting up nodes, things like that, get those lined up. And up in the top corner there is QR code. Let me actually, that's the wrong one. There we go. There's a QR code for the Ham Radio Kids Table. And actually, let me just put that up. There's the YouTube channel for the Ham Radio Kids Table. We live stream every Wednesday night, and it's a group of us. We are, we're not following your grandpa's rules in ham radio. This is the next generation of amateur radio. It's a little bit different philosophy, and obviously with being able to get outdoors and do a lot more. So, and integrating technology into amateur radio, there's no reason we should hide from it. There's a lot of people that are anti-internet and everything, and you know what? They can suck it. So that's my 2 cents on that one. But every Wednesday. But yeah, check out that link up there for the Ham Radio Kids Table. Like I said, we live stream. And if you are interested in setting up All-Star Node, or you're in the process and you've got questions, this Wednesday is the place to be. So yeah, Dave says, all right, it's not your grandpa's ham radio anymore. So we are having fun. Now this stream will be short this coming Wednesday. Every other Wednesday, Ham Nation still live streams at 9 p.m. Eastern. So on days we cut it short. So hey, it looks like I just got notification here. And I don't know if you can hear him jibber jabbering in the background, but it looks like Ham Church is starting up here. And I can't hear him. All right. So, but hey guys, it's I'm out of here. I'm going to put a link in here. Make sure you check out Ham Church here. Let me get that in the chat. And we will catch you guys later. Have a good Sunday. Enjoy your family time. Get outdoors, and have a good day. Good week at work. And we will catch you guys later. And 73.